Hi, I'm Tom, and this is another episode of Extreme Costumes. Today, we're here with my friend Greg Adler. And this is Greg's Optimus Prime. When I tell you we show extreme costumes here, this is extreme. Now, Greg, this thing looks like it took a ton of work. How long do you think you spent working on him?
I stopped counting after about 200 hours. I didn't want to count anymore. I've been working on it since before last Halloween.
He's awfully big. How much do you think he weighs?
I didn't even want to try measuring how much it weighs either because it would scare me, but it's at least 80 pounds. And it's all strapped onto the backpack, and I'm holding up pretty well.
Well, you look like you work out, so you can handle that weight pretty good, right?
Yeah, it's not an upper body thing. It's just after a while your feet really start to hurt because you've got so much weight, and then your feet are strapped in, and you start to lose circulation in your feet. So you just got to keep moving. You got to keep alternating and shifting your weight.
Oh, I know that story.
Yeah.
My costume's actually much smaller and yet weighs almost the same amount.
Yeah, I feel for you.
Well, listen, we have a ton of detail to show you about Greg's costume, but I want Greg to show you. Greg, why don't you point out just some little things about your costume that make him unique? What sort of things went into making this Optimus Prime that most people wouldn't guess were there?
Well, one of the things I learned in previous years is that you need to be able to walk up and down stairs if you're going to get up on stage without taking the entire costume off. And so one of the things I did was I made it so that the front of the legs would actually come off. And so now my feet are basically parallel with where the step would be, and I can get up and down stairs. And so one of the things you would do is you'd go take these off, go up the stairs, hand them to somebody, and then put them back on.
Wow, that's ingenious.
Oh, thanks.
And about how long do you think it takes to take them off and put them back on again?
It only takes a second, actually, if you hand it back to me.
That's a great design.
Back on.
What other innovative things do you think you put into your costume that you think are impressive? Something that's, made you happy?
The lighting on it, I think, is really good. When it's dark or if you're in a nightclub, it looks really cool because the eyes light up, there's running lights all over it. The headlights are actually on a dimmer switch that I can control from right in here. And so it's actually 200 lumens of light. And so when you walk in,
When I look at a flashlight, they list numbers like 36.
Exactly. So it's about 200 lumens. So when you go into a nightclub and you turn that on all the way, it just completely lights everything. It's like a floodlight, yeah. And it's got lasers in both arms for attracting the crowd. And the head is actually on a swivel that I designed so that Optimus can look around. I designed it on a pivot so that it's supposed to be fluid and natural.
I see some of the most beautiful detail work I've ever seen in my life in any costume.
Thank you.
And that does come down. I see an area that's a little bit weaker.
Me, this is the weaker part. No, this was originally designed on 21-inch stilts, and when I started doing test runs, I realized that the costume was too heavy on top, and I was too unsteady on the stilts in order for things to be safe. And so I removed the stilts from the legs, put my feet on a platform down near the floor, and now we have to redesign it so that from here to here is now merged into the rest of the costume.
I see that we've got this piece already. What are you planning on doing with this?
Well, initially that went over my upper legs and was Optimus Prime's thigh. What we're going to have to do now is probably remove the wheels and put them outside my arm and then make this part of the legs there. Yeah, exactly, just like that on both sides. So we're going to fix it up if we can and try to make it work. Now, the other part too is that this actually is designed to fold up and down. Oops. So I can still see, but covers my face.
Well, fantastic. Greg, I want to thank you for your time.
Thank you, Tom. Thanks for all your help. Thanks for being a good friend, and thanks for all you do for promoting people who build costumes. You do a lot of good work. You're a great guy.
Well, if you want to see more of Greg's work, follow the link in the annotations. You're going to see it right back to his page. You can see some of his other work. He's got an amazing Predator costume, and his Bumblebee is just off the wall. Thanks again for following along on Facebook and Twitter. This has been another episode of Extreme Costumes.
Every day I'm shuffling.